Hey guys, Curtis Alexander. In this video, let's talk about how to give you or how you can get more energy. Now, for that to happen, you have to improve, you have to optimize the function of your mitochondria. The mitochondria, as you probably are aware, are the engines of your cells. They take the food you eat, they convert it to energy. Now, I wanted to put that out front because a lot of what you're going to hear and a lot of what I've seen in other videos or articles go I disagree with them, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because I'm speaking from personal experience. And now, as I make more of these videos, working with folks who are in the very situation you're in. So let's start first by saying that a lot of the information you're reading, in my opinion, is upside down. We need to think of things in a different way. You have to provide your body, first of all, with the right kind of energy so the mitochondria can function properly. And also, we have to decrease the stress levels. Um, Also, there's a bit of a chicken or an egg. A lot, you may be struggling right now with like, hey, I want to lose some weight. And it's very difficult to lose weight if you're continually restricting the energy you provide your body, because your mitochondria are dependent on you providing the right kind and the right amount of energy. We can't always be thinking about restriction. We have to supply our body with the energy it needs. That's why I mentioned that right out of the get-go. The other thing is you really do have to be patient with with this process. It's not a 30-day thing. So let me start by giving you things you should avoid, and then I'll get into some things that you can do to support your energy levels and mitochondria. Most importantly, if more people got away from seed oils, that would be a huge thing for your energy levels. The reason you want to avoid seed oils, first of all, when we're talking about seed oils, it's really industrial oils: the sunflower oil, the safflower oil, the canola oil, grapeseed oil. Those sorts of things are in processed foods. Not only are they in processed foods, but they're doing a number of really terrible things for your energy levels. They're going to increase your hunger. They block glucose oxidation. Now, you have to remember, your body's preferred source of energy is glucose. And I get it. The keto, the carnivore, the vegans, all the stuff, they're going to be like, you don't need glucose to survive. Nobody's saying you need it to survive. You can survive without it. It's just not a pleasant experience, and it's a stress-based response. Again, we're getting back to the stress thing. So if it blocks glucose oxidation, that's what gives you some things we're going to talk about in a second that are not supportive of good mitochondrial function, good energy levels. We want glucose oxidation. These seed oils, these polyunsaturated fatty acids, block glucose oxidation. We don't want that. They block thyroid hormone. We definitely want good thyroid function to have good energy. That's what drives our metabolism. Blocks vitamin A. It also increases sex hormone binding globulin. I could go on with the things to do. For example, sex hormone binding globulin will bind free testosterone in men. So you can have healthy testosterone levels total, but if you lack free testosterone, you're going to find yourself with a low libido and some of these other things. So seed oils do nothing good. Stay away from them. As far as supplements, I do not recommend you doing supplements, particularly in the early going, because two reasons. One, most people don't do like a hair tissue mineral analysis. They have no idea where they sit mineral and nutrient wise. They'll just start willy-nilly supplementing with stuff. For example, a lot of people come to me, they're supplementing with zinc because they want to increase testosterone. They want to improve their immune system. But here's what they don't realize: that zinc is going to block copper absorption. Copper absorption is required to convert T4 to T3 as far as thyroid hormones go. T3 is required for energy. And so we see a decrease in energy. Okay, so a lot of these supplements that are recommended in these other articles and videos, it's a fool's errand. We have to start with a baseline. I'm not saying supplements can't be beneficial at some point, but when you're starting out, you want more energy, you want to improve your mitochondria, we have to start with nutrition, and that's the next thing. Okay, now let's start with the things to do. I'm going to move through these fairly quickly. You have to eat to support your mitochondria. That means you need to eat all of your macro groups. You need protein, you need carbs, and you need fat for good energy levels, good mitochondrial function. Anybody that tells you something different either doesn't understand human physiology and biochemistry, or they're trying to sell you a diet. Stay away from those. I did that long term. I did that for well over a decade. I did some of these other things. That's why I ran into energy and mitochondrial problems. Okay. So eat to support your diet. That means, for example, protein sources, organ meats, liver is excellent, shellfish, grass fed beef, um, those sorts of protein sources, bone broth, carbohydrates, ripe fruits, honey, maple syrup. If you can tolerate well cooked potatoes, do that. Fat sources, butter, ghee, coconut oil, tallow, great fat sources. Keep them saturated fat sources. Okay. Next one, PEMF therapy. I've done a number of videos on PEMF therapy. By the way, make sure to go to my website. Link is in the description. Get your free checklist. I talk about all these things in much more depth on my email list, so you'll want to grab that. PMF has been shown in the right way and with particular machines, basically, is that you can not only increase mitochondrial respiration, which means you're going to be producing more ATP, more energy. It also has been shown in studies to increase the actual number of mitochondria. Okay, these are actual studies that have been done. Again, get on the list to talk about these things a lot more. So you'll want to look at PMF therapy. I already kind of touched on this. Avoid extreme diets that eliminate macros. Stick with whole, natural foods, nutrient-rich foods, like I mentioned in the first point. Avoid extreme diets. You're going to set yourself up. You may feel better in the beginning. I will not argue that. You may lose some weight in the beginning, which is important. I'm not denying that either. But done long term, most of these are stress-based diets. They will increase stress levels long term. They begin to have big downsides. I experienced it. Many people I'm hearing from now experiencing the same thing. Okay. I also do not encourage, stay away from daily fasting. I did this for a long time as well. Again, we're coming back to, you have to eat to support where you're at right now, and we have to decrease stress levels. So a lot of people will say, well, can I eat one meal a day? Or I'm not against fasting at all if it's done occasionally, but to do it every day is a constant stressor. Your body adapts to that and increases stress hormones. Okay. Improve sleep. Again, this is a chicken or an egg thing. Some things I did to improve my sleep. I use a mask. I do mouth taping. I've made videos on these, so feel free to jump on those. I sleep in a colder room. Some of the basics you've probably heard about. And as you fuel your body the right way, your sleep will also improve and kind of we'll get some of this sleep stacking. I very seldom wake up in the middle of the night now. I usually don't have a problem sleeping through the night and getting plenty of sleep. And it's super important. Intelligent exercise. A lot of people want to think that I have to kill myself in the gym or I have to do a marathon. For example, doing something like a marathon, those individuals will be fit. There's no doubt about that, but they also tend to see higher body fat percentages, and it is a very stressful thing on your body. And again, we're trying to minimize the stress. I do resistance training, but I do it intelligently. I do it twice a week with a grand total of 30 minutes. Maybe I walk every day. I get my 10 to 15,000 steps legit every day, but it's low impact. It's enjoyable. So you have to be intelligent about how you choose to exercise. People have asked about sunlight, red light. Absolutely, those are very beneficial for your mitochondria. For example, we know that sunlight activates an enzyme system that increases glucose metabolism that will lead to higher CO2 levels in your body, and that will increase metabolism. We can also see the same effect with people who consume coconut oil. Back in the day, farmers were like, we wanted to find a source to feed cattle. So they started mixing in coconut oil, and they found that the coconut oil caused the cows to become leaner because it was increasing their metabolism. Okay, we want to support liver health. I've made videos on how to do this. Your liver is, people like to think of it as a filter. That's not what your liver does, but it's a detox organ. It's involved in like 500 enzymatic reactions in your body. It's a mission critical to you having good energy levels and dealing with the stresses of life. You have to eat to support that. Again, I've done videos on this, so go ahead and check that out. Also supporting gut health. If you're eating in the way that I was talking about here, your gut and liver health are a byproduct of that. They're going to improve. We also want to avoid excess estrogens. Estrogen is natural for men and women, but we don't want too much. Estrogen is suppresses metabolism, suppresses mitochondrial function when you get too much. So the plastics that you might be heating food up in, to stay away from that kind of stuff. Okay. So let me know in the comments, guys. I'd really appreciate it if you want me to go into more depth on some of these topics. If I haven't already covered them, I really value your feedback on what you want from this channel and what you'd like me to cover. So let me know, and I really hope this video was helpful, you guys. Thank you.